What if the world around you descended into utter chaos, yet your mind remained a sanctuary of calm? Imagine a still, serene lake, its surface undisturbed even as a tempest rages above. This isn't a far-fetched dream, it's the promise of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy practiced by figures as diverse as the slave Epictetus and the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. They understood that true strength isn't about controlling the storm, but about mastering our response to it. In our modern age, defined by relentless sensory overload and pervasive stress, the wisdom of Stoicism isn't just relevant, it's essential. It offers a timeless toolkit for navigating the complexities of human existence with a steady hand and a clear eye. In this video, I want to share with you 5 foundational Stoic rules. These aren't just philosophical concepts. They are actionable principles that can transform your daily experience. Are you ready to discover them? The first, and arguably the most crucial lesson Stoicism imparts, is the dichotomy of control. It's a simple yet profound idea. Some things are up to us and others are not. Epictetus put it bluntly, the chief task in life is to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. This distinction is the bedrock upon which a Stoic life is built. How much of our daily anguish stems from failing to grasp this truth? Think about it. We fret about the opinions others hold of us, rage against traffic, and lament the past or anxiously try to predict the future. The Stoics saw this as a primary source of human suffering, a misallocation of our precious mental and emotional resources. The Stoics urged a ruthless, honest inventory. What truly lies within your sphere of influence? Your thoughts, your impulses, your desires, your decisions, your actions, and ultimately, your character. Everything else, your health, your reputation, your wealth, the actions of others, the grand sweep of world events, is external and not wholly up to us. This isn't a call for passivity or resignation in the face of external challenges. It's a call for focused action where it truly matters. When you internalize this distinction, you stop fighting unwinnable battles. You cease to be a hostage to fortune, your peace of mind constantly threatened by the unpredictable whims of the world. Instead, you redirect that energy towards cultivating your inner world, towards perfecting your own responses. This is where your true power lies, the power that no one and nothing can take away from you. Consider being stuck in traffic. The typical reaction is frustration, anger, stress, all perfectly understandable, yet utterly futile. The traffic itself is outside your control, but your response, that is entirely within your control. You can choose to fume and curse, or you can choose to use that time productively. Perhaps it's an opportunity for quiet reflection, for deep breathing exercises, for listening to an audiobook, or even for practicing patience itself. The external situation hasn't changed, but your internal experience of it is transformed. This shift in perspective requires immense discipline, a constant vigilance over your own mind. It's a daily practice, not a one-time realization. You will slip, old habits of worry and frustration will resurface. The key is to gently, firmly bring your focus back to that fundamental question. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, then your task is to practice acceptance, to let go of the futile desire to change what cannot be changed. This isn't weakness, it's a profound form of strength, the strength to acknowledge reality as it is. And what is the reward for this disciplined practice? An incredible, almost unbelievable inner freedom. When your happiness and peace of mind are no longer contingent on external outcomes, you become truly free. You develop a resilience, an equanimity that allows you to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with grace and composure. This is the foundation upon which all other Stoic practices are built. Now let's delve into a Stoic technique that might seem counterintuitive or negative visualization. It means consciously imagining worst-case scenarios. What if you lose that job you depend on? What if your most prized possession breaks or is stolen? What if a relationship you cherish ends? It sounds grim, doesn't it? But the Stoics understood that this practice done correctly is not about wallowing in fear or pessimism. It's a powerful tool for cultivating gratitude, building resilience, and reducing the shock of actual misfortune. Seneca advised, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." By mentally rehearsing potential adversities, we strip them of their ability to catch us off guard. The primary benefit of negative visualization is a profound shift in appreciation for what you currently have. When you vividly imagine losing something and then see it still present in your life, a wave of gratitude washes over you. Things you might have taken for granted suddenly appear precious. Furthermore, this practice is about mental preparation, not about inviting disaster. It's akin to a fire drill. We don't conduct fire drills because we want a fire to happen. We do them so that if a fire does occur, we are not thrown into panic and confusion. Similarly, by contemplating potential losses, we mentally prepare ourselves. We can think through, if this happened, what would I do? How would I cope? What resources could I draw upon? This reduces the fear of the unknown, which is often more terrifying than the event itself. This isn't about becoming hardened or cynical. It's about becoming resilient. It inoculates you against the debilitating shock that often accompanies sudden loss or failure. Many successful individuals employ this technique, sometimes without even labeling it as Stoic. They visualize failure, consider the obstacles, and imagine things going wrong. Why? Because it sharpens their focus on what's essential to prevent those outcomes. It helps them anticipate challenges and develop contingency plans. It also reduces the fear of losing control, because they've already confronted the possibility of loss and decided that even if it happens, they can find a way to respond constructively. This is the surprising, empowering gift of premeditating on evils. The third Stoic rule we'll explore shifts our focus from how we to how we. In moments of pressure, of insult, of temptation, the Stoic doesn't primarily ask, how am I feeling right now, or what do I want to do? Instead, the guiding question is, what is the thing to do? What does virtue demand of me in this situation? The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues that should guide our conduct: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These aren't just abstract ideals, they are practical guides for navigating the complexities of human interaction and personal challenges. Imagine someone insults you. Your immediate, raw, emotional reaction might be anger, a desire to lash out. But the Stoic, practicing this rule, creates a space between that initial stimulus and their response. In that space, they observe the rising emotion without judgment, but also without surrendering to it. They acknowledge its presence, but then they consciously choose a response aligned with virtue. Would lashing back be wise? Would it be just? Would it demonstrate courage or merely reactivity? Would it be temperate? This is not about repressing emotions. Stoicism is about emotions. It's about recognizing that while we may not control the first flush of an emotion, we absolutely control our ascent to it and our subsequent actions. It's about transforming raw emotional energy into considered, principled responses. This is the essence of self-leadership, of taking command of your inner state. Those who consistently choose to act on the basis of virtue, rather than being swept away by impulsive reactions, cultivate a remarkable strength of character. They become reliable, predictable in the best sense of the word, not because they are boring, but because their actions are rooted in sound principles rather than fluctuating moods. This consistency builds trust, both in themselves and from others. They become individuals that others look to in times of crisis, not because they are devoid of feeling, but because their feelings do not dictate their actions in unhelpful ways. This is the Stoic ideal in action. It's about developing an internal compass oriented towards virtue, so that even when the storms of emotion rage, you can still navigate towards what is right and good. This is how you build an unshakable character and become a leader, first of yourself and then by example for others. Our fourth Stoic rule is perhaps the most stark, yet one of the most profoundly life-altering. Remember, you will die. This isn't a call to morbidity or despair. It's not meant to cast a pall over your existence. On the contrary, for the Stoics, this constant, gentle reminder of their own mortality was a powerful catalyst for living a more vibrant, focused, and meaningful life. Why would remembering death lead to a better life? Because the awareness of our finite time on this earth acts as an extraordinary filter. It helps us distinguish between the trivial and the truly important. When you hold the thought of your own death, even for a moment, many of the petty annoyances, the anxieties, the grudges that consume so much of our daily energy simply fall away. They are revealed for what they are, insignificant in the grand scheme of your limited existence. Imagine you learned that today was your last day. Would you still be seething about that rude comment someone left on your social media? Would you still be agonizing over a minor mistake you made at work? Would you still be putting off that important conversation with a loved one? The perspective shift is immediate and dramatic. Suddenly what matters comes into sharp focus. Your relationships, your contributions, the experiences that bring you genuine joy and fulfillment, the legacy you wish to leave. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, often recommended daily meditation on mortality. Not to become obsessed with death, but to become more engaged with life. By keeping their finiteness in mind, they aimed to waste less time on frivolous pursuits, to treat people with more kindness and seriousness. Knowing that any encounter could be the last, they sought to experience each moment more deeply, more consciously, because they understood that our moments are numbered. This isn't about living in fear of death, it's about using the inevitability of death as a tool to live more courageously and authentically. This is how you build an unshakable character and become a leader, first of yourself and then by example for others. Our final Stoic rule for today challenges a pervasive modern sentiment, the often unspoken belief that the world or life or other people somehow owe us something. Many walk through life with a subtle or not so subtle sense of entitlement. I deserve this promotion, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to be treated a certain way. The Stoic perspective offers a radical and liberating alternative. The world owes you nothing. You are not here primarily to demand, to expect, or to receive. You are here to contribute, to serve, to give. This might sound harsh or deflating at first, but let's explore its profound implications. When you operate from a place of entitlement, you set yourself up for constant disappointment and resentment. Why? Because the world is indifferent to your expectations. People will not always behave as you wish. Circumstances will not always align with your desires. Life will inevitably present challenges and setbacks. If your happiness is contingent on getting what you feel you are owed, you are essentially handing over control of your emotional state to external factors. The Stoic, by contrast, relinquishes this sense of entitlement. By accepting that the world owes them nothing, they free themselves from the bitterness of unmet expectations. This doesn't make you a passive victim, quite the opposite. It makes you a creator, an agent, a proactive force. If the world doesn't owe you anything, then whatever good you wish to see, whatever conditions you desire, you must actively work to bring about or learn to live virtuously without. This shift in mindset moves you from a position of demanding to a position of offering. Instead of asking, what can I get? The question becomes, what can I give? How can I contribute? What is my duty here? This is not about self-negation or becoming a doormat. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment and meaning often arise not from acquisition, but from service, from making a positive impact, however small, on the world around you. This is how you build an unshakable character and become a leader, first of yourself and then by example for others. This is the enduring promise of Stoicism, as relevant today as it was 2 millennia ago. These 5 rules, mastering your control, premeditating adversity, choosing virtue, remembering mortality, and relinquishing entitlement, are not just ancient philosophical curiosities. They are potent, practical tools for forging a life of calm, strength, and profound meaning. Stoicism, as we've explored, is far from a cold, unfeeling philosophy. It doesn't ask you to suppress your humanity, but to elevate it, to refine it, to direct it with wisdom and purpose. It offers you the keys to build an inner citadel, a fortress of tranquility and resilience that no external storm can breach. Rule yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and you will discover a freedom more profound and more resilient than any external liberty. This is the enduring promise of Stoicism, as relevant today as it was 2 millennia ago. Are you ready to embrace it?